It was a beautiful Sunday morning, August 21st, 2005. I arrived at the high school. I love to call it, at that time, St. Perrysburg Church. Arrived at Perrysburg High School, and I had brought with me what we needed for that first Mass of the parish. My car was loaded. I had some song sheets. I had all the things you need for Mass, the altar cloths, the books, the chalice, the host, the wine. Other people brought in things like the bulletins, an electric keyboard. But the biggest thing we had to bring in was a sound system that I had just borrowed like 2 days earlier from the cathedral. And none of us had set it up before. So we got our heads together and our minds together, and we figured out how to do it. And there were those little tripod things with the big speaker on top on either side. We ran the cords. We had the amplifier, the mixer. We had the microphones. Had it all set. We even did a sound check, and it was working. But then we discovered that the microphone, there was like a lectern with a stand for a microphone, and we had the microphone itself. But the stand did not have the little clip on the top to hold the microphone. What were we going to do? It was not in the materials that we had. And one of the men said, "Oh, I've got some duct tape out in my car." So he ran out to the car, and he brought it back in. And not only did we secure the microphone, but we even made it sort of a gooseneck so that it would be closer to the person doing the reading, or in my case, doing the preaching. It was pretty cool, but as people came in, 3 different TV stations came in for coverage, I think a couple of newspapers. As all these people gathered around, my prayer was, "Lord, keep that microphone in place till Mass is over." And of course, it did survive, and the following week we had a better system. We had it fixed. But when I talk about duct tape, 2 thoughts come to my mind. One is duct tape to the rescue. How many times all of us have relied on duct tape to fix things? It's like the MacGyver in each one of us. You know, it's what we need to just get us through. The other thing, though, that comes to mind when I mention duct tape is that it is temporary. It is a make-do, but you don't build the whole parish or the whole church based on duct tape. You want something much more long-lasting, much more permanent, much more sound. Now, I'm rather sure that at the time of Jesus, they did not have duct tape. But I bet they had their equivalent. I bet they were used to figuring out things that would sort of get by with, you could get by with. And yet Jesus did not say, "I'm going to build my church on duct tape," or whatever it might have been. He went the other extreme, and he took an image, the rock. It's a play on words. You are Peter. In Greek, Petra means rock. You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church. The rock represents permanence, strength. It can withstand storms. It can be around through centuries, through the ages. So which are we, the duct tape or the rock? Duct tape comes to the rescue, but if we're going to build something, let's build it on rock. So we tried to start our parish built on rock, the rock of faith, believing the Holy Spirit is guiding us. Jesus definitely built his church on the rock of Peter and the rock of the faith of all the followers. There's another line, though, that I like in that gospel reading. It's right before this. Because Jesus asked, "Well, who do people say that the Son of Man is?" Because that was a topic of conversation. They're always looking for the Son of Man to show up. But then he turns the question around and he says, "Who do you think that I am?" And Peter is the one who says, "You are the Christ." The Christ means the anointed one, the one we're waiting for. You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Pretty cool. This was an inspiration. And Jesus' answer is, yes, you know this, not because of flesh and blood. I don't look like the Christ. I don't look like the Son of God. But you know it because of the Father. The Father's Spirit, the Spirit of God, has inspired you to make this bold statement. The power of the Holy Spirit. And I think that's the other thing about the church. Regardless of all the challenges, the difficulties, the scandals, the pain, the successes as well, with all of this, the Holy Spirit continues to guide us. And as a parish, we've been trying to do the same thing. I love the fact that our patron saint, Pope John the 23rd, totally believed in the power of the Holy Spirit. He believed the Holy Spirit would guide us completely. There's a famous line that he used, apparently more than once. Late at night when he was going to bed, his prayer was, God, you watch over your church. I'm going to bed. That complete trust in God. But even more so, the famous line that we have depicted in this statue. This statue was made just for us. It's not a duplicate. There's only one in the world. The statue of Pope John with the shutters being open, because his famous line when he called the Second Vatican Council was, let's throw open the windows of the church and let the fresh air of the Holy Spirit come blowing through. What a wonderful trust in the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit is given as not only wind and freshness, but also vitality and a renewal and a new beginning and all that is young and strong and vibrant. I think because of that, we as a parish have always tried to say, is the Holy Spirit guiding us? Not just what we want to do, but is this the work of the Holy Spirit? And because of that vitality, we're 15 years old, which is not old, but we are still young. And I dare say if we trust in the Holy Spirit, we will be forever young, because the Holy Spirit is about the youth and all the newness that can come about. Our church was founded 15 years ago. It's all about people. We have a building now, but we were a church way before that. I love the fact that the Perrysburg High School, that we were not in a church building, but we became church. In the cafeteria, the auditorium. I used to jokingly say, if I had to announce next week our Mass is going to be in the chemistry lab, everybody would have gone to the chemistry lab, because we knew it was not the place. We are still assembled here in this building today, and many people online. We're still church, and that Holy Spirit pulls us together. We had the exact same reading 15 years ago. The Sunday readings are on a 3-year cycle, so that's been 5 cycles. And it was the 21st Sunday of Ordinary Time. So we had this very same passage 15 years ago. And I ended the homily, once again, referring to Pope John the 23rd. During his life, he kept a journal, and it started when he was a seminarian. And in the journal, he wrote a prayer to God. He said, God, I want my soul to be like a blank sheet of paper on which you will write. So I ended the homily 15 years ago by paraphrasing that. And I said, God, may the soul of this new parish be like a blank sheet of paper on which you will write. We still want God to keep on writing. But we also know God has been writing in the last 15 years, been writing words of love, acceptance, reconciliation, hope, and certainly words of peace.